All right, welcome, Mel. Mel, your host. I've had a channel. Sorry, I've been gone for a little bit. Haven't put up any bets for like the UEFA Nations League and you know MLB and NHL and all that good stuff. Just need to take a little break, but I'm back. Glad to be back, and we're gonna go over these three matchups taking place on Friday, October 18th. We've got three matchups in Europe and we'll go over each one. I'll give you my best bet. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so our first matchup, we got Borussia Dortmund going up against St. Pauli. St. Pauli, a newly promoted side from the second Bundesliga, and Dortmund, which is obviously staple in German football and in European football as well. Of course, they went to the Champions League final last year, lost against Real Madrid. They've had a so-so start to the year. It always seems like they play a little bit better in the Champions League than they do in the Bundesliga. Not that they're bad in Bundesliga, obviously they qualify for the Champions League. It seems like every year. St. Pauli has been what you would expect from a newly promoted side, but probably not good enough. At least today's perspective to give any indication of whether or not, with any certainty at least, whether or not they're going to stay up. But just keep things short and sweet. And giving you guys what I think is my best bet. Obviously, these are going to still be plus 100 bets for all of these matchups. What I do like for this one, I was looking at either the total for the entire game, and the side. But what I like here is to go back to the first half money line for Dortmund plus under 2.5 goals. I think that's probably the best bet rather than going with like Dortmund and under 3.5 goals for the entire game. Because Dortmund is one of those teams that can surprise you. Now, they have had low scoring affairs, these two teams in the past. Um, the little bit that they played, I think they played in the German Cup, and then before that, going back to like 2011, 2012 in Bundesliga. But even in their matchups in the German Cup, been relatively low scoring, but still, Dortmund's one of those teams that can surprise you and score a bunch of goals at any given moment. So I do like the first half money line for Dortmund and under 2.5 goals. The risk there is if they score a third goal or if St. Pauli scores even one goal in the first half, then this bet loses. But at plus, what do we got here? Plus 130. I do like those odds. First half Dortmund plus under 2.5. In our next matchup, we go to the French League One, where we have Monaco going up against Lille. Another good matchup in League One, and so we have Lille, who's coming off a couple weeks back, a win in the Champions League against Real Madrid, 1-0. Monaco has won their last two games in the Champions League, playing really well in League One. Same with Lille. Um, they've been really good, and this is going to be a pretty exciting matchup, I think, in League One. However, looking at the matchup, I do like Monaco. Lille is one of those teams that probably doesn't score a bunch of goals. I could see them getting on the board, but I do see Monaco scoring at least two. So taking a look at this matchup, looking at the best bet, what I do like here is Monaco and over 1.5 goals. Rate that as a 4 out of 5 star bet. Monaco is definitely a team that can score. Um, Americans will recognize at least one of the players on Monaco's side in Fuller and Balogun, who been starting occasionally. He came there with much fanfare last year from Rhymes, State Rhymes, and it just hasn't turned out the way he probably envisioned it. But I still think he has a bunch of potential. But they have a good squad over there, and they can do some big things. And I think they're definitely going to be at the top of the table there, along with PSG and others. But yeah, for my best bet for this one, I like Monaco and over 1.5 goals. Pick that up for plus 120 at BetMGM. All right, last matchup we'll cover is Alaves versus Valladolid in La Liga. And be, again, short and sweet on this one. I like both teams to score for this one. And I do know that in La Liga, these can be some low scoring affairs. But, at plus 110, I think you got to do it. And this could be a trap. But in my opinion, I see that happening. And I see probably a win by Alaves 2-1. But do see both teams getting on the board in this one. So, at plus 110, I think you guys have to roll with this one. I think think I'm going to roll with it myself, at least put a unit on it. But yeah, both teams are scoring this one. That's my best bet. All right, that's all I got for you guys. As always, if you like this content, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and that like button, hitting that notification bell so you know when we drop our next of content. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.